A small boy is trying to learn to aim. His name is Dylan. He shoots a deer. As they get to it, undeads are here. His gun gets jammed. They lie down as there's a huge plane coming towards them. They get out of there and see that plane has crashed, and undeads are here as well. They get down to the crash site. Undeads are surrounding the crash site. They keep going while passing through boxes. As his older brother Max tries to kill an incoming undead, his gun is still jammed. Someone kills it. It's Alicia. She asks them to get inside and runs to kill other undeads. The plane is fine. Dylan and Max are here, and Morgan is stuck. An undead attacks him, and as he falls, John saves him. Morgan asks them if they're with Logan. They're not. Lucy is wounded. John calls June and Al. Morgan asks Dylan to keep pressure on her wound until he gets back. He tells them to kill if an undead gets inside. An undead is trying to grab June. She comes to consciousness and brings Al to consciousness as well. Alicia is killing undeads with a fan and has got her hands injured. June opens the belt, stands on foot, and someone shoots all undeads. It's John. They are 10 to 15 miles away from the touchdown site. Logan asks where they are. Morgan says we are coming, but it'll take longer than we thought. Alicia sets a perimeter. Undeads pull John. June shoots them with his gun. Undeads are coming closer. Al tries to warn Strand about the crash and asks him to watch the skid mark tape. That man has a plane. John says we might be out of range. As undeads get to them, Morgan and Alicia butcher them together. Dylan tries to give Lucy patience. June is here to help her. Alicia falls over a fence and sees the fence notice. They need to cut her free from the pipe first, and they need hacksaws. Al and John look for hacksaws in their fallen boxes. John takes out an undead with his gun's metal. An undead gets over to Al, and it is unkillable due to its suit. She sticks him to the tire's risen pole. She records it, and John has found the hacksaw. Morgan is making heaps. John cuts the pipe. They have killed a lot, but they are still coming. They have only 7 bullets left. Al gives Alicia her weapon. Alicia assigns herself for lead, Morgan for the side, June and Al to keep Lucy safe, and kids to stay in the middle. They get set. There's a van here. It's Max's sister. Morgan wants to kill all undeads. Annie tells them that undeads are the least problem here. They have no idea where they have landed. Sarah's convoy is on the road. Victor had heard about Skidmark and is on their way to find this plane. Alicia and others are on their way. She wraps her hand. Upon asking, Annie tells that they were stuck here while passing along with their parents. Roads to the east are gone due to a landslide. Dylan asks Al if she's a pilot. She says journalist. Max says then it must have happened. Al says we didn't crash. We crash landed. Lucy is feeling pain. Annie asks, they don't know them and are going to save them? Logan's people were surrounded by undeads. Anne suddenly stops the van and says that you're leading us into undeads. Anne says this place doesn't seem worse, but it's worse. Alicia asks, what does she want to say? She says, you will see for yourself. They stop before 4 undeads tied with ropes, and above on the tree, several heads are hanging. Annie doesn't know who did this, but they're here everywhere. Annie won't take them further ahead. Morgan says, we'll go on foot. He says that we're doing this work for a long time. Logan and his people are the first people who want to meet. Anne says they must be worth it and takes them in her van. They reach a place. Alicia peeks inside. Logan told them they were surrounded by undeads, but here is no sign of them. She peeks and checks inside. They all get inside. They put Lucy on a table. John checks the garage and comes out from the other side. Al finds things weird. Alicia checks a dark room. Light is here. Morgan calls for Logan on the radio. Lucy is going through a hell of pain. June needs dressings, peroxide, and antibiotics. She did it before in a trauma center, but in a truck stop. No. Lucy is groaning with pain. Upon Dylan's asking, Lucy tells him about Polar Bear. Now he's gone and they're trying to continue now. Morgan says, across the other side, they have a denim factory. Annie says there's no such place anymore. Alicia says they need to turn on generators since no one has been here for a longer time. There's something wrong here. Annie says no one is here. Kids don't want help. They show their guns and leave. June needs help. She pulls out the pipe at 3. Lucy screams out of pain. At the dam and denim factory, there's a man. He gets to the door, opens the lock by its code, and enters inside. There's no one inside. He wears a cap, checks boxes, and gets to the beer-making room. There are so many beds in the hall. He checks documents, sees tapes, and checks Al's checklist of needy people. Alicia says these kids are like those people that we tried to save before. She kills an undead. June says Lucy is very lucky. If it would have been nearby here or there, she wouldn't have made it. He gives her juice. Morgan is still on the radio. Logan responds. Morgan turns on the mic and asks, where is he? He's with his people. He has eyes on his people and on the stream. He says that you run a big truck which has a sign C and L, and you put boxes on mile markers. I'm L, and I'm not like C. He didn't want to fight, so that's why he brought them here so that they can quietly get inside. Alicia tells him about the plane crash. Logan just chose it randomly because it's far away. Alicia says I'll find you and I'll kill you. Logan says he doesn't want to see them dead, he just wants what is his. He says you wanted to help people, now it seems you need help. It's night now. Logan has occupied Sarah's half-beer stash. To brew and make more beer, they need to take back the mill. Charlie says there's a way. Victor has found that tape Al told about. Victor says he's not gonna miss this plane. Al watches that tape where there was an undead in a suit. Morgan gets to her. He wants her forehead wound to show to June. She wanna go back to the crash site. She thinks it has a story. He wants her to show her wound to June. June is tired. She sees John and gets to him. Lucy is resting. John found a movie. There's a VCR in the back room. June says we'll find our people. John says we have been very lucky. We finger-crossed so many situations. We survived, which seems impossible to survive. It's a shame if someone doesn't want to take their help. June says you made me believe while I didn't believe. We have to do the same for others. They make a kiss and hug. Alicia is still killing undeads. Morgan calls her. She says today we could have died. Lucy could have died. For whom we came here, they occupied our home. She says our mom did all this so much so that we can be alive. Morgan says if we're here, we have to give it a meaning. He'll go to find those kids, and they have to keep trying until they win their trust. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be difficulty. That's how we'll know we're on the right path. Alicia says, not so much difficulty. Morgan says until we are alive, we have to stay strong. Victor watches the tape, and he's stunned. It's Daniel Salazar. Wandell want to talk to Vic? Al is at the crash site. It's raining. She removes his mask and kills him. Takes her camera, turns on its light, and records everything. She finds something, maybe a small bag, and opens it with her knife. It has some documents with a specific logo. She puts them back in the bag and tries to aware Morgan about her being here. She says there's a story here. Someone gives her a taser gun shot from behind, and she passes out. Her camera is still on.